What's up, y'all? It is your girl, Sarah from Sarah Styles, here with my weekly accountability chat. I'm so excited to have such amazing people to chat with today. Someone all the way from the other side of the world in England, 1 o'clock in the morning over there. So bless your heart for still being awake and chatting with us. You look more awake than I am. I will be going to bed when this is over. And then we have a couple other resellers that are here local to me in the States. So thank you guys so much for joining. If you are new here, I am a reseller. I'm also a mom of 3 children. My channel focuses on reselling, looking at data analytics, using your numbers to help you reselling, whether you're side hustle to full-time reselling. But I do this this Monday call every single Monday, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard, to talk to all kinds of different people because there's so many different ways that we can do reselling. And I just really enjoy learning from each other, growing from each other. And I like having different, like Nick has a YouTube channel, but Amy, you don't. You have a podcast. We'll get into it. But more or less, you don't have to be a big influencer to have helpful information. So I like to have lots of different people on. And also, like, it's my weekly staff meeting, right? To make sure that I'm like getting it together and keep myself accountable, and just have other people to chat with that do what I do. So as we wait for people to kind of hop on, I will let you guys go ahead and introduce yourself, and we'll just go here. It's always backwards.
Yeah.
We'll just go around in a circle. Nick, you can start, and then Amy, and then we'll see. Can you hear us now?
You're good at that. That's a great intro. When I do my intros, I forget everything I planned to say. That was slick. I've got to say.
Well, thank you. And I do want to note really quick, everyone's handles are in the links down below, so you guys can head on over to all of their social media and follow them afterwards. So, Nick, why don't you give us a little introduction, who you are, what you do, reselling.
Right. Wow. I've been doing YouTube, you mentioned, for I think it's 6 years this year. And that's been a huge thing for us. It's going to sound a bit dramatic, but it's been life-changing. It really has. And we talked briefly about this before, that reselling can be a very lonely pursuit. We do it from home now. So some days we don't even step outside the house, right? So you don't see people.
And you're saying we because you do it with your wife, right? Your partner.
I resell with my wife. We've been in business since 2001, full-time, reselling in one form or another. And so we do YouTube and share what we do. We were hoping to get to 50K subs this Christmas, but I think we're not quite going to get there. But it's been awesome. It's been so much fun. And we sell mostly on eBay currently. I do a lot of Amazon, although that has gone down for us. My wife does Etsy. I don't tend to, but I'm going to start trying to get into Etsy more. We sell a lot through our YouTube channel and Instagram. And that's us, really. So
if you do Etsy, you're doing vintage then, or do you guys do handmade as well?
Vintage. That's at the moment, it's all my wife, Andrea, doing the Etsy side of things. She does collectibles, ceramics, and vintage. Yeah.
Interesting. So we'll get into kind of, because you're on a couple different platforms. I always like to talk to people about their experience with all of them. And those are all ones that I know. I wasn't sure if, in England there was platforms that we couldn't do over here in the States. So, well, thanks for joining. Amy, if you want to give us a little bit of background about who you are, reselling and other ventures that you have going on.
Yes, so I am a business coach, and then I started reselling almost a year ago. I started actually New Year's Eve last year. So it's been a full year for me, and it's quickly become a full-time business for me as well. I didn't really start out thinking that it would be that way, but I love it. And so I sell on Poshmark, eBay, and a little bit on Macquarie. And then I recently added Amazon in September. So that's growing as well.
Ooh, I'm going to have to pick brains. Amazon seems so scary. But this time last year, I thought eBay was scary. So
I was going to say, if you can do eBay, you can do Amazon. It's kind of like the same.
See, I get into this. I'm good. I'm going to do status quo. And then I talk to people and I'm like, oh yeah, I could totally do Amazon. I was talking to someone today and they're like, oh, I'm doing, the Christmas vlog, a video every day. And I was like, oh yeah, I totally do that. And I was like, no, Sarah.
Boundaries.
We've been doing Amazon since the early 2000s, and merchant fulfilled is simple. It's easier than eBay. It's FBA that can be frightening, I think. We do that, and that was quite a leap from doing merchant fulfilled.
I started with FBA, and then recently I've been doing merchant fulfilled only because it's getting close to Christmas, but I actually like it. Because to me, it's just like reselling,
Yeah.
Okay, so let's,
FBA too. I love it.
Oh, you do it too? Oh, okay. So this chat's going to be about Amazon, clearly. I didn't know what we were going to talk about, but like I have all the questions right now. So before we get into that, I am going to let her introduce herself really quick, and then we'll get in some questions as well.
Very well. So my name is Maite, and I have a boutique. It's named Man and Me Fashion, and I am an artisan. So I do handmade accessories, and that's how it started. I started selling on Etsy in 2006, and from there I moved to eBay, and I started selling vintage on eBay. And slowly, someone told me about Poshmark, so I opened my Poshmark closet. I think it was in 2018, and then let's see what else. And then I started Amazon, selling on Amazon. I started selling books, and I do the fulfill by Amazon, and it's super. The beginning was a little bit of it was a little overwhelming. But after that, I really like it. And mostly because I don't have the space to store the things that I want to sell here. So I can send them to Amazon and they can sell them for me. And it's really easy.
Okay, we're going to have to get into this because this is interesting to me. But before we do that, I do want to give, and I don't know why I didn't think about it. I have purchased some hand knit hats from her for my daughter, and I wish I had it here to like show you. But my daughter loves it, and so then my son was like, "Oh, I want one too." So you just finished. He sent me a picture, and they're so cute, and they're like a little palm on them. They're amazing. So if you guys are looking for handmade stuff, definitely check out Mate's or how do you say it again? Mate. See, you're going to say it so much prettier than me with the accent. I can't say it. So I'm going to butcher it, and I apologize now. No problem. But you're doing so I want to jump on this just really quick, and then I do want to get into Amazon because you guys all have great experience that I can pick your brains on. You are doing an artisan show for the holiday season, right? So you have put together a whole collection of people who are craftsmanships and are selling it on Instagram, right? So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So recently I joined with four other artisans, and we created a platform. It is called Artisan Showcase. And we wanted to, since we are artisans and we do handmade items, before COVID, we would go to bazaars and craft shows during this time of the year. Because of COVID, everything has been canceled. And so many artisans that are in our situation that have lost that income that we were having or during this time of the year. So we will invite other artisans to come to this platform, and so all together be able to push the artisans' work and do showcases and live sales on Instagram and Facebook. And so that's started about a month and a half, 2 months ago. And so we've been doing, in our page, we've been doing live sales, DIY events. We've been interviewing artisans, and it's been really fun. It's been a lot of work, but it's been very, very fun. In fact, right after I leave here at 6, I have a live sale. So you're going to jump in afterwards.
Oh yes, there. And I do have I have your links for you, but then also for the Artisan Showcase. So the links for that are down below. And what's cool too is I can't always catch the live shows, but then you can go back and watch it. And I've purchased off of the just the IG reel or the IG TVs that they do after the live. So I absolutely love it because it's a great idea. It is so hard with COVID. We can't go out and do all of those things. I love that you guys put this together. And I think Michelle's here as well. She's one. I love Michelle. engineer at play, I think is her Instagram. But I just love what you guys have put together and really cultivated the community to do this. So if you guys are looking for handmade gifts, definitely check out the Artisan Showcase. You can go back and see what's still for sale or keep an eye on their live sales that they have moving forward. Let me check in with the chat really quick, and then we will jump in. I want to talk about Amazon. In case unless anyone has other questions. But what's up, Duncan? Vandy's Closet is here. The Tat Doctor. Oh, that's a new one to me.
I've brought a bunch of Brits with me.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm assuming the ones that I don't know, because everybody else is kind of in my circle. Maybe a couple few new people. Reseller Wendy is here. Grumpy Thrifters. Thank you guys so much for showing up. Tom, here we go. The English picker. That's one of yours, right?
I know Tom very well. Yeah.
Yeah. Christy Blocker is here. Thank you guys. Duncan's saying your mic is a little quiet. You may have to yell at us.
Yeah, I was struggling to hear sometimes as well.
Oh, and Leslie, if you guys don't know Leslie, definitely follow our Resellers Passion. Big girls really do cry. Love it. Oh, there's Michelle. Yeah, I was just talking about you. She has like different names on all the different platforms. Okay, so let's get into it. What's interesting to me is I bring different people here, and then we always find a common theme. And today we're talking about Amazon. That was not my intent at all, but I want to pick your guys' brains about it. So a lot of you, oh, Daniela's here too. Didn't notice. Daniela, what's up, girl? So Amazon, you guys were on Etsy, you're on eBay, but you all do Amazon. You mentioned merchant fulfill and then FBA, and I've heard of these words. I don't know the difference in any of them. And so let's talk about it. What is the difference in, well, let's talk eBay, because eBay to Amazon is probably going to be the closest, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what is the differences in eBay and Amazon? And feel free to just jump in.
Well, I think the easiest place to start is the difference between merchant fulfilled and FBA, to get that out of the way.
Sure.
So, for example, I've just sold Guitar Hero and I'm shipping it, but I sold it on Amazon. So this was on my shelf here, but it was listed on Amazon. So I'm the merchant and I'm fulfilling the order. So that's merchant fulfilled. So it's very similar to eBay in that you hold the stock and you ship it out when the order comes in. FBA is fulfillment by Amazon. So they do all the work for you. You just have to send it up in boxes to the warehouse. They pick and pack the order for you. So you end up being
less. Yeah, you probably make less doing FBA, right? Because they're doing it for you.
Not necessarily, because you can charge more because your items can go prime.
Oh, so when you're buying on Amazon and it's not prime, that's by a merchant fulfill.
Yes, generally.
And then also you can adjust your prices also in fulfilled by Amazon. You can still adjust your prices. I like doing fulfilled by Amazon. My biggest thing is I don't have a big storage area to keep the things that I'm selling. So I like to do fulfilled by Amazon because I can send them things to Amazon and they do all the customer service for me, and that is priceless.
So you're just shopping essentially, right? That's, if you do FBA, you are just a professional shopper.
You can look at it that way.
You spend your time sourcing rather than picking and packing.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, they're doing all of the other things that a lot of resellers don't like. But if you're on Amazon, it has to be new?
No. Most of what I sell is used.
No.
I only sell new, but I didn't know that they could sell used there. Yeah.
No, that makes sense, because now I'm thinking, I mean, obviously I shop on Amazon. That's where like all of our Christmas is coming from during a pandemic. And there are used stuff on there. Oh, you guys, we shouldn't have had this talk, because now I'm going to think that I need to be an Amazon seller. So how, like, complexity wise, because eBay is complex, how does that compare? I mean, if you're doing merchant fulfill, you do your own listings. If you do FBA, you're not doing your own listings.
Well, here's the thing. Selling on Amazon in one respect is a lot easier, because their page, their listing item, it exists on Amazon as a page, that item. So you don't have to do any of that. You just put yours up for sale. You say, I have one of these. here's my description of what condition mine is in, go. That's it. So you don't have
Yeah,
to
you don't have to create a listing. So that's kind of amazing. Yeah, it's already
Oh, so
created.
Yeah, so like if
Yeah.
you do like a sell similar kind of on
So
eBay where you find
you
what it
use
is and then you just sell that.
Exactly that. You find the product and you click, I have one of these for sale, and you set your price, add pictures. You can do that to describe your item. But the other downside of that is you can only sell an item if Amazon has it in their inventory, unless you want to try and create one. And you can't bundle up. You can't change the listing. You have to sell it as it is on Amazon. They're quite strict about that. So it's a bit restrictive in that way. I prefer eBay in that I have complete control over how I list my stuff.
Yeah, but it's easier on. So now how does it, can you cross list between eBay and Amazon? Like, do they get like eBay, like if you sell something, if you have it on both places and it sells on eBay, is Amazon get finicky about you taking it down off of there?
No, you can just press a button.
Yeah, because I've changed my quantity available before. Yeah.
All right, guys.
That's simple. And I think the software you can get that can manage that for you. I don't use it, but
I don't cross post because I sell books, so I kind of have a separate section of my store. It's just books, and that's on Amazon. So I don't cross post, but I think in the future I might expand the items I sell on Amazon.
Yeah, you're killing me here because it's at the end of the year and I'm going through my 2021 goals, and I was thinking like I can't increase my inventory anymore. I work from home. I don't have more space, but I can sell more of what I have by adding a platform, which means
Sarah, I think you would be good at it because if you do FBA, to me, it takes some analytical skills. I don't know what you think, Nick, like to find new products, like, you know, you can buy, like I started buying leads lists and stuff like that to see what products to buy until I got used to it. But you're so analytical that I feel like you'd probably be really good at finding those products to sell.
Yeah, selling new stuff on Amazon, it's cutthroat. That's the thing. You know, it's all about price. It's all price driven. You can't compete with a fancy listing. You can't show, you know, it's not like, oh, they're going to come and shop from you because you have a nice eBay store.
Yeah, right.
They're on one page and you're competing with everyone else that has that thing for sale. And if they're a penny cheaper, they're likely to buy that because they will have the buy box a bit in the corner where you actually buy it.
Yeah.
So it all comes down to price. I love doing used stuff, the unusual, the vintage, the hard to get hold of, because I can set my price. I got £100 for that, which on eBay you'd be lucky to get 40, 50 for, because it's no longer in manufacture, it's hard to get hold of, it was boxed, and hardly anyone else has it. So that's what I love about Amazon, not necessarily the new stuff, although I do a bit of that.
Yeah, no, but that makes sense too, because it's going to be cheaper than the new stuff, but still more expensive than it would be if they went to eBay, right? Because you have different types of audiences. The people on Amazon are going to be different buyers than the people on eBay, or even just their mindset. When I go to Amazon, I am in the mindset to spend more money than if I go to eBay, right? Even though I'm the same shopper, eBay, I'm like, I'm looking for a deal. Amazon, I'm like, I just want to buy something. Like, I'm going to click it and I'm going to buy it, right?
Well, I think
that's true how people buy, yeah. Because I'm buying things from Target to sell on Amazon, and you could easily get it on Target, but people are already on Amazon, so they're just filling their cart and buying it. You know what I mean? So I think people have that mindset on there, you know.
I think a lot of people are lazy and they've got an Amazon Prime account. They shop on Amazon. They don't even go to eBay. A lot of people wouldn't consider buying on eBay. And a lot of people are the other way around and wouldn't touch Amazon with a barge pole, you know? So I think you're not necessarily competing between the two on price.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I'm a reseller. So I sell on eBay and Poshmark, and rarely do I think to go buy something on eBay. I always go to Amazon.
I love eBay buying. Oh my God, you can get bargains on eBay.
Yeah,
I know. And I don't have anything wrong with used stuff. Anything that I buy into, like all of my kids' stuff and all of our stuff comes from thrift stores. I think it's just in my mindset. I'm used to Amazon. Amazon's easy. I click on it. It's, you know, free shipping. So you guys are getting me in trouble here. Duncan has a question. Oh, we have a couple questions. So question, fees on Amazon in general, but then also versus eBay. How do those go?
Do you want to take this one? I think
I can't figure out any fee structure. Yeah, I'm not the person to ask. I'm just happy I get paid, basically.
It's really hard. Yeah, it is really hard for me. It's really hard to compare both fee structures because in my case, since I have two very different products that I'm selling in on eBay and on Amazon, I can buy a book, a vintage book. I can buy a new book, or find a new book for like 50 cents, and it will sell for $80, and that happens. And then Amazon takes a percentage of that for the fulfilled by Amazon. Can't remember. It's a good chunk of the percentage, but still very profitable. Where eBay is more, I believe it's a 12% or 15% of the fees what they take. So I'm not sure how much does Amazon charge for if you are the one who keep the product in your storage. I don't know. You do merchant.
It's less. Yeah.
How that?
I should know these things. I think I said to you, Sarah, I'm not very analytical about stuff, but I think merchant fulfilled.
I told you we weren't going to talk numbers either, so sorry.
You lied. I think merchant fulfilled and eBay are similar, but when you're talking FBA, it's complicated and it can get expensive because you're paying them for their service.
Right.
So, and the storage fees involved. If this was Amazon FBA, that's quite a big item, so the fees are higher because there's more involved in picking and shipping and everything. So it's complicated.
That's interesting. So I have some reseller friends that are local to me here. They're coming on in a couple of weeks, but they actually do like a fulfillment center. So you send your stuff, like if you don't have enough space and you don't like the shipping part, you send your stuff to them and then they fulfill it for eBay. So it seems, but their percentages are higher. Like you're paying by month for what you are storing and then you're paying for them to ship it. So it seems like it's similar to that. And that makes sense because they're doing way more than if you were doing it all, right? It kind of reminds me, so ThredUp was all the rage this year because people are like, I want to shop and I don't want to do the rest of it. So they're kind of paying, it's consignment, but essentially that's what a lot of resellers were doing with ThredUp is paying ThredUp to do all that. That's a hot mess now. I'm going to do a video on it eventually.
Don't get me started on ThredUp. I'm really irritated. I just looked at my account today.
What did you do? Let's start it. If you don't mind, let's do it. Maybe what's the problem?
No, I jumped on the bandwagon when everyone else was. Then I sent a bunch of stuff, and then now it's just sitting basically at ThredUp. And I'm really irritated because I could have sold it myself. So
and you can't get it back. I'm in the same place that you can't get it back.
Yes.
It's changed it.
And there's shady.
Yeah, agreed. I have sent numerous emails and I think we're probably in the same place.
And it's really, their customer service is really lacking. I don't know if it's because of demand or they don't want to answer or what the deal is, but it's terrible.
Yeah, and it didn't used to be that way.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds awful.
So I don't know if it's other places too.
I've only.
Oh, go ahead. You're cutting in and out, so it's hard to hear you.
I'm sorry. So I've only sent a one box to ThredUp, but I am totally new and I don't even know what to expect. But I did ask them to rush, and then now it's like I've been waiting for a month and a half now for them to even. And they keep pushing the date. So I guess I lost that box somehow. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
I would be.
I don't know if I will send any more things to ThredUp for sure.
They've changed their structure. So Nick, it's an online thrift store, but they take consignment. And so a lot of resellers in the past couple of years have sent in their stuff because they don't want to deal with listing or they're busy, but it's consignment. So you get, a percentage of what you sell. But in the past couple of months, I think they've caught on to resellers doing that and they don't want that anymore because we would go in and change our price. Well, we would change our prices really high and then and a lot of customer service and they are going on an IPO. So I just think it doesn't fit into their plan. But they changed a lot of policies and I'm with Amy that it's their business. They're allowed to change their policies. It's their business. But the way that they've done it, they changed the policy I sent my stuff in a couple months ago, and then they changed the policy. When I sent my stuff in, I could pull my items at any time, and they changed the policy, and now I can't get my stuff. I'm like, well, when I sent my stuff into you, I could get it back. I understand anything coming in now, like that should be the policy, but like you can't hold on to my stuff when that wasn't the assumption when I sent it.
That takes me back briefly to Amazon. Amazon, I have a love-hate relationship with Amazon. Tom, my friend, is in the chat. We're the same. Amazon love to change their policies and completely change things and pull the rug out from underneath you. Most of what I used to do on Amazon was media. So we're talking CDs, DVDs, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I now can't sell any of those. And it took a massive part of our business away overnight.
Why not?
What happened? Yeah.
Because they restricted those categories. Just like that. They just changed the playing field. And they do that a lot. So if you are going to get into Amazon, be prepared for things to change when you don't quite expect it.
And that's for FBA and for merchant fulfill. Like either one, they can just change.
They can restrict categories and not allow you to sell them, full stop.
As because you're competition for them. And like, is that why they would be doing it? Like they're not.
For me,
Oh, we can't hear you.
The connection's really bad. And
so for me, sorry, a little delay here. I'm so sorry for the connection. I'm just, I feel bad.
Yeah. Oh, you're good now. Let's see if we
at least you can hear me. Oh, good. So what I was saying is that with Amazon, they do have many categories that are restricted, like Nick said. And so you have to certain things to be allowed to sell those categories when you're doing fulfilled by Amazon. And that is hard. And that might be one thing that would stop sellers to start on selling on Amazon too. I books are not restricted, and I've been selling books for a while now. I really enjoy it, but I've tried to sell other things, and some of the things that I've tried to sell, they were restricted, so I couldn't.
So when you say restricted, are they, I mean, in my mind, eBay is a platform for resellers. Like that is their sole purpose. While sometimes they pick the buyer side, I feel like it's always to benefit us, even if we don't like it as sellers, but like they're trying to make the customer happy, so they come back to us. Amazon, when they're restricting it from, little sellers like us, is it because they don't want competition from us? They want Amazon to have, or some of the big, like, why would they restrict certain things, I guess? Or do you know?
So when you first start, you're restricted in certain categories. I didn't really have I just went through the typical protocol to get, what's called ungated, and I got ungated in grocery and topicals, like things like that right away. And that was fairly easy for me. I just followed what they asked for. But those are two things that you aren't allowed to sell in. And I'm assuming it's to restrict the platform. So just not everyone is able to sell those products on, and there's some sort of process that you have to go through in order to do that. And they do restrict certain brands, like Starbucks is a big one that you have to get ungated. So you have to go through a process to be able to sell it. And so even though I'm ungated in grocery, like McCormick, I couldn't sell unless if I, purchased it from a wholesaler and proved to Amazon that I was a legit business, I guess, to sell it. So there are certain things like that they make you do, but I think they're protecting their site, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that makes sense
from a business standpoint.
Well, they're not to oversaturate it too. Yeah, so not to oversaturate it too. Yeah,
another reason, if you don't prove yourself selling in the toys and games category in Q4, at least on the UK site, you can't sell in Q4 because they want to protect their customer service levels. So you have to have a proven track record. Otherwise, they stop you selling in Q4 toys and games. So that one, whoa, that was loud.
No, sorry. I didn't turn my phone on do not disturb. That was my sister. Sorry.
But yeah, a lot of it, as you were saying, Amy, a lot of it is pressure from the manufacturers to stop only the general so-and-sos from going to a supermarket, buying up the shelves and sticking them on Amazon. They only want verified wholesalers to sell on there. There's a lot of that going on. And then, there's many reasons, but it can be frustrating because you can be ticking along doing very well in a certain with a certain product, for example, and then next day, no, you can't sell that. And then you have to pay to get your stock back if it's up at the warehouse.
Okay, so that was one of my questions too. So you have to pay to get it back. Do you have to pay to send it as well?
Yeah.
Not a lot, but yeah.
Shipping is super cheap. It's like, here it's like 25 cents a pound to send it. It's really, compared to like when you're shipping on eBay.
Yeah, well,
I'm
assuming they have like a really good deal, right? Because okay, so you do have to pay to get it there. Can we go back to the fees a little bit? Because I feel like we didn't really like, it's complex, but can we? So I know FBA, that probably is more like a commission because you're paying them to do a lot more. I know you don't do numbers, but can you like how does it compare to eBay? Are you talking around the same percentages, or are we talking like 20 to 30%?
I think merchant fulfilled is similar sort of range of fees.
I would say
But
20 to 30.
with FBA, it varies a lot with weight and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. You'd have to ask someone who pays more attention.
Yeah. I just saw Michelle comment in here saying that Charmin toilet paper is 100. So I had something that I priced like that was in the buy box that was a normal price, like was not like that. And Amazon took it off and said I was price gouging, and it was not toilet paper. And I don't even think it was an essential item. So that listing, I'm surprised, is up and probably won't be for long because they do watch that. That is not something that I'm, especially on an essential item.
I can quickly answer Amber's question. I was just saying just before that one.
Yeah. I was going to get to the questions in a minute.
I believe that selling books isn't restricted at all, as far as I know. I think anyone can sell books, but it's been like 20 years since I started, so I'm not sure.
Well, we'll see. So I do mostly women's clothes, purses, stuff like that. Do you guys have any idea how that, like, is that restricted? Would it be hard to get into that? Or do I have to start, like, I don't want to sell grocery. That sounds awful. Nothing against you, Amy. I'm glad that you do it.
The only reason why I got it, I'll tell you why I got into that, is because at first when I started, I was going after these bolos or like I didn't want to do toys because I honestly have no interest in toys. Like I don't even know like what a popular toy is right now. And it just sounded very cutthroat. And so I started to think like, what do people going on Amazon to buy that that I don't have to constantly be looking for, that I can just find these items and I can go buy them and get them consistently and know that they sell on Amazon and make me money, because I don't want it to become like, I like doing Poshmark and eBay and selling clothes, but I like Amazon as an additional revenue stream. So if I can find those things that sell, I can just go out, buy them, and either ship them myself or send them to Amazon. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. So I have a little bit different perspective, I think.
No, but that makes sense. It's just kind of an easy, constant revenue stream for you, right? That makes sense. I wouldn't mind that. I like looking for women's clothes. We do have a lot of questions in the chat. We were having good conversation, so I don't want to break it up. But let's go back a little bit to the chat. Chrissy Blocker saying, yes, Sarah, I'm thinking, you have me thinking the same thing about getting into it. We did have another question. Does Amazon only pay you every 2 weeks?
I think we get ours monthly.
I do. I pull money every time I see funds available on my account. But when I first started back in September, it felt like it took a really long time for me to get paid. And so it's not like when you sell something on Amazon or on eBay and it's in your PayPal account, it wasn't like that. I felt like I was spending a lot of money before I got paid. But then once I did, it is every 2 weeks, but you can pull your funds earlier if they're available. At least I have been able to.
So they like push it to you every 2 weeks, but if you want to get it sooner, you can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's a reserve amount in case there's returns.
Yes, that makes sense. Matei, we can't hear you. Mel's here. I know it's like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Hi, Mel.
Daniela, I haven't sold on Amazon since I was in college. Might start doing it again. I was not doing any of that in college. Just living my life. Sarah, listing on more platforms will chew up your time. That's very valid. I'm aware of that. But and that's why I haven't ventured out to, Mercari and some of these smaller ones, because I don't think that's worth my time. But if Amazon is providing, I don't know, we'll see. Follow the journey. I may be on, I may not. Let's see. Australians don't touch Amazon. That's interesting. Wonder why. I went to buy a garden salad only to see eBay sellers were trying to drop ship it from Amazon, so they had it $100 more on eBay.
Okay, I was a bit distracted then because I was trying to find out. To give you some context, I'll go back to this because we talked about it. This is a Guitar Hero. I sold it for £100. I got shipping credit of £5, which almost covers the shipping. And Amazon took £20 as a fee. So that's 20%.
Okay, but that's fine. I mean, I don't mind. I mean, Poshmark takes 20%. If you do promoted listings on eBay, you can be pushing 20%.
And here's the thing. I got probably, I don't know, £40 more than I could have pushed for on eBay for it.
Right, and it's the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll pay 20% for their audience. All right, well, this is going on my list of things to think about. Let me see. If anyone has questions as well, too. I'm slowly going through the chat. We kind of got backed up. Vandy Closet.
I was going to say, if you do want to jump in, one of the safest places, as we were talking about books before, you were saying about selling books, that is a great place to start Amazon and learn how it works. So I would suggest that if you want to just dip your toe in.
And try some books. Yeah, I'll see.
Yeah.
It's on my... I'm gonna think about it because I kind of like Amy's perspective too. Like, content. Hello, you're cutting out.
This person.
Sorry,
Oh,
I know. I really wanted.
Oh, sorry. I
Can't hear.
Yeah.
oh.
Sorry, you're cutting out. Vandy's Closet. So she is a ThredUp queen. Pre all the drama that's happened, and then she's going, following through with what she's doing. She's saying you can ask for the item sent back to you with the disclaimer if they have not processed the box. My boxes have all been processed, and I have escalated to numerous supervisors, played nice, yelled and screamed, and they will not give them back to me. So, and the problem with it is you don't always get emails when things are up, your time is up. And I'm a busy mom, remote teaching 3 kids right now, running a business. Like, I'm not on ThredUp all the time. I'm likely going to lose a lot of my inventory. So, but that's what happens when you run a business. You take risks and, some of them pan out, some of them don't. Let me see. I'm just going through the chat. If you guys see anything in the chat you want me to bring up too, just let me know. I think we're good. Oh, so I want to talk a little bit about keeping, so like on eBay, you can get dinged for a lot and then they suppress your listings. And I feel like Amazon probably has really high standards as well, to make sure that you are managing and keeping their good name. So can you guys talk a little bit about like how that all works out?
They're very strict. Yeah, they as much as eBay, if not more, they want to protect their customers. They are so customer centric, it's insane. And one of the downsides of doing FBA, I don't know if you'll agree, Amy, is that customers return stuff for any reason under the sun and you just have to swallow it. I had a Star Wars toy sent back to me a year after it was bought, smashed to bits, no box, no packaging, anything. And then had to pay to get it back from the warehouse to here. This is a year after it was bought, by the way. And I had to phone up and was on the phone for half an hour arguing my case that I didn't have to accept that. And eventually I got my money back. But that's the sort of thing that goes on. And was on the arguing my case, I didn't have to.
Now you're getting feedback.
And eventually I got my money back. But that's the sort of thing that goes on.
Did that happen for everybody or just me?
No.
Okay, we got surround sound. We got... What? This is what happens when you do lives.
I don't know where it's coming back from because I muted. Anyway, is it gone?
Yeah, no, I think you're good now. No, that's an interesting point. So the returns, they'll pay, we all know Amazon, it's Amazon, which as a buyer we love, right? But as a seller, not something I had considered. They'll take a return up until whenever, or what's the policy for that?
I think right now it's January here, but I don't know what it is.
In my experience, they have policies. And then if the customer wants to, Amazon will just ignore the policy for them and let them return it.
Yeah, but that happens on eBay too. They just lie about it to get a return. I was on the phone with eBay a couple of weeks ago about that because I was like, well, that's not my policy. And they're like, well, that sucks, but we're going to do it anyway. And I was like,
I've had run-ins with eBay. I don't know if I know you don't watch my videos, so you won't have seen, but we had a big case go on. So I thought I'll make a video and follow exactly to the letter what I have to do to fight this case. I had to go to a police station and get bits of paper filled in and this, that, and the other. I went through everything and then phoned them up, and I documented the whole thing, and the video went viral to the point where it was circulated at the very top of eBay, and they phoned me up to apologize.
well, we don't all have 50,000 YouTube followers to make that happen. So the
was
rest of
crazy.
us, they just tell us, too bad, suck it up. That's the price of doing business.
Well, I got, and it's on camera in one of the phone calls, that a buyer has the right to return anything in any condition and get their money back.
On eBay.
Mm-hmm.
And Amazon too, probably, right?
Yeah, but any condition, and they will get their money back.
Yeah. Mine fortunately wasn't that, but they clearly lied about item not as described, because I do shipping, but I don't pay for the shipping. But if it's item not as described, then I have to pay for the shipping. So they clearly lied about it. And eBay was like, well, too bad. Change your policy then. Vandy's Closet saying, I thought clothing had to be new for Amazon. Do you guys know?
I think so. I think that's
I don't
right.
know. I'm
I
assuming.
don't think that they do use clothing on Amazon. We certainly have never done it. Clothing is was a big part of what we did, and we never sold used on Amazon for sure.
Yeah. And I wonder if maybe like
Yeah.
vintage could be used, but the rest has to be new. I'm going to look into it. So stay tuned if you guys want to see that journey. I may decide I don't want to, because, I have 3 kids at home, remote learning, and I don't have any time to be adding new things. Let's see. Michelle's asking, how does Amazon handle authenticating with fakes out there? So if you're trying to sell like high-end stuff, do you have to send it to them to get authenticated, or do you guys know?
I know that's been a big issue with influencers lately on Amazon or on Instagram, promoting inauthentic things on Amazon, and they put the kibosh on that real quick. So
Story, yeah.
yeah, I don't know, but I don't sell high-end things on Amazon, so I have no idea what the process is. But I know you can still find them out there.
Yeah, I've not had a problem with it. Sorry, go on.
My guess would be, just based off of what you guys are saying, if you're trying to sell certain high-end things, they probably, like Starbucks, right? Starbucks isn't going to let anyone sell. I'm positive Louis Vuitton is not good. Well, they won't let you sell anyway, but like Coach, like most of these places, you would probably have to show a wholesale license to be able to sell it, right?
Almost certainly most big brands will be restricted in some form. So you'd have to gain Amazon's, they'd have to allow you to sell it. Yeah.
Yeah, to show for some way or another. Chrissy's saying, can you sell new adult toys, movies, X-rated on Amazon?
Probably.
They do sell them on Amazon, I've seen, but I don't know if you could as like a back end.
It's not a market I've explored, I'll be honest.
I think you can. Yeah, it's pretty open-ended, I feel, on Amazon, but with some restrictions. Do you know what I mean? It's like everything you could dream of is out there, but it's like then there's like certain restrictions.
Yeah, the seller has to be. I'm making sure we get through these questions. Okay, I think we're good. Oh, Mel is saying everything on Australian Amazon must be new. Oh, Michelle's saying fake electronics could be out there. But they would be like brands, right? Like you don't make a fake Walmart knockoff. You make like I don't know electronics, Nick, you might know a fancy brand, but they don't make, like you're making they would make a fake Xbox or something, right? And then you would
there
was
a huge thing with Beats, Dr. Dre Beats. They were faked and they were everywhere. That was massive. And Apple products, Apple Pod, whatever they are, EarPods and stuff. So Amazon are really hot on that. If they think you're selling fake or they prove it, then they can shut you down in a moment.
Yeah, which makes sense. But I would think they probably are pretty restrictive on that. Okay, I think I got to all my questions. If people in the chat have other questions, for sure. I have other questions for you guys. Maybe just away. Oh, one more thing. Vacations. Can you take vacations? Can you like put your stuff on vacation mode? On Amazon? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, with FBA, the joy of FBA is doesn't matter. You could be on the beach and your stuff's still selling. That is the one thing I love about it. We go on holiday and you get and you don't have that, oh crap, I've now got to find a box and ship it.
Yeah.
It's done. So that is the big benefit. That's what you pay for with FBA. But merchant fulfill, yeah, you can switch things on and off. So it's not available and it is available. Yeah.
Yeah, I love FBA because of that. You don't have to have a vacation mode. You have your items in storage with them, and they are selling them for you.
Yeah. That seems nice. I'm going to look into it for sure. On that note, do you guys have, Nick, do you talk about this on your YouTube channel and like step by steps? Like if you're starting to get into this, where do I want to go to learn more? Is there YouTube channels or courses, because it seems very scary. YouTube, I learned a lot for eBay, but as far as Amazon goes, it doesn't seem like something you kind of just jump in and hope for the best because you really don't want to get shut down, right? You want to make sure you do it legit.
Yeah, I've made a few videos about FBA from when I first started doing it. I wouldn't say I've done kind of how-tos because it is quite complicated and there's lots of fiddly bits with packing an order and doing the labeling and stuff, but I've gone through how it works. But there are channels way better than me at explaining how Amazon works for sure.
Yeah. Amy, you just got into it. So do you have places that you're willing to share? I don't want to get into all your secrets, but places you're willing to share that kind of helps you.
Yeah, I bought a course because to me, kind of like eBay, actually, I feel like I'm tech savvy, but the Amazon platform, at least from a seller, like the dashboard, I thought was a little bit complex to figure out at first. It just seemed very foreign to me. And so I bought a course from the Happy Hustlers, I think they are on Instagram. And it was very basic on teaching me how to set up my Amazon store. And it told me how to send in my first shipment and things like that. So it was very beginner, but it was really just what I needed. It was kind of cut through all the noise of having to go to YouTube and trying to find a bunch of videos. It just was very straightforward. So that's what I did.
And I appreciate that. I am very big on paying for courses. I'm not, but I want it to be useful, but I don't have the time to spend 60 hours figuring out what YouTube channel is going to give me the information that I watch. I will watch Nick's videos because I like Nick and I know that his information is going to be helpful, but there's so much information on social media. I think it gets overwhelming. So I wrote their name down and I'm going to reach out to them.
I was lucky in that I had a friend, Tom, actually, who's in the chat, who had been doing FBA for a year or two before I took the plunge from completely merchant fulfilled to trying FBA. So he was literally on the phone being able to go, no, you idiot, you do this and then you do that and then you press this button, and it's the little fiddly bits where you get stuck with putting together a shipment and how you do that and all the different screens and steps they make you go through. It's not user friendly. So having somebody that you can turn to and say, what on earth does this mean? Why are they asking me this question now? And you'll be listing books and they'll say, does this book have a battery? You'll be like, why would it have a should it?
Am I listing it wrong?
Yeah, and it's so bizarre. But yeah, I think if you can find somebody that you trust that you can just message and say, I don't understand this, that would be ideal.
I've found my 3 people and I call dibs on them. So you guys that are watching my channel, I'm just kidding. I'm sure they'll be happy. They're all on social media and stuff. But I do want to quickly talk a little bit to Amy because you are a business coach as well. And I followed your journey on Instagram, but I kind of just want a better, kind of talk to us a little bit about it. You had a corporate job, you quit it to do this, your own thing. It's called 2 weeks notice, right? Am I?
2 Week Notice Society, yeah.
I can see, I just type in 2 and then it comes up on Instagram. So I'm trying to remember exactly what the rest of it is. But, talking and you have a podcast about it. And I really love, I think in the next year on YouTube, I'm going to bring in a lot more entrepreneurship because we are all entrepreneurs. Even if you're a side hustle, you're an entrepreneur, right? So talk to us a little bit about your vision and what you're doing with that part of your business.
Yeah, so I was in corporate for 20 years, like you said. I was a financial controller, and I was at a technology company where there wasn't really anywhere for me to go. I was not that I was at the top, but there was no room really for advancement for me there. And so
pretty high up. Like you were like let's just be real, right? Controller's pretty far up there.
You're funny. And so I also worked, no offense, Nick, but I also worked with all men. And so it was, me and a bunch of guys for 15 years. And basically I just
wants
thought
that, right?
Yeah, it might be the dream for some people. I don't know. So I started contracting on the side, basically. I started offering services to local businesses and then kind of stumbled upon the whole online space. I had no idea there were business coaches or anything like that online. And so I ended up getting enough clients where I could leave my full-time job and then started consulting. I still do some consulting on the side. And then I had a lot of people ask me how I was able to leave my job, because everybody, I think, has this dream. Most people have a dream of leaving their job and starting a business. And so then I started coaching. And so I started that business almost 4 years ago now. I started the podcast about a year ago. I've been more consistent with it lately, but really just coaching people. And then I created my own course and just helping people along that journey of starting their business and growing it, mostly service providers and business coaches. And then a year ago, I started reselling. So I added that to the mix.
So if my channel is going to be mainly resellers, but this business coaching is the resellers, or you can reach out to you as well and help coach them into. And so you mentioned a course and consulting. Those are kind of, do you have like a tiered, it's either you take the course or you do a coaching, or do you do like private, like how does it kind of work out if people want to work with you?
So it kind of depends on your preference. If you are someone who needs someone that you check in with every week or every couple of weeks, you are someone that's probably going to need more private coaching, right? And those people get the course as well. But if you're someone who just wants to do it on your own and can follow a course and take it, the biggest thing is taking action, right? And so then the course would be good for you as well. So it's on my website, 2weeknoticesociety.com, or you can message me. So
yeah. And everybody's handles are down below in this link in the description of this video as well. But I've been following the journey on Instagram. I didn't realize it went back that far, because Instagram, you've only been on probably a year, maybe a little over a year.
Maybe a little bit more. Yeah. Consistently probably for a year. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's exciting that you've been doing this for 4 years. I was working corporate America as well, in a predominantly male industry as well. Nothing against you, Nick. It's just there's not diversity. It's more the diversity.
Well, I was in the police force in a male-dominated world, and I hated it too. So
Okay. My dad's actually a policeman. He retired about 10 years ago.
Yeah, I hated it. I couldn't wait to get out. So I created a business that suited me.
Yeah. It's amazing. And it's amazing that we can all kind of do this. So I loved following your journey, and following your journey. But if you guys do want some business coaching, check Amy out. Her link is down below. I'm going to say this full disclosure. I have not taken any of the courses or had consulting with her. I just know in talking with her and following her journey on Instagram, it's something that I would recommend checking out on your own, right? I'm not an affiliate, so I don't want to put my leg out there because I haven't done it. But I do know Amy well enough to trust that whatever she puts out there, I'm sure it is amazing. I'm so sorry that we're not having a good connection, but if you guys want to check out the Artisan Showcase, they're going live right after this as well. The link is down below on Instagram, and they're doing stuff all month long. Lots of different lives, DIYs, and you can learn how to do stuff, or you can just purchase small and local from other artisans. Nick has an amazing YouTube channel. I've watched a couple of them. You said I didn't watch any. It's funny because I have a channel, but I'm actually not really a consumer, which I think makes me not grow as quickly, because I don't know what YouTubers look for, because I'm not really one. I'm starting to, as I learn and make friends with new people. But Nick has great content. And I'm so humbled that you guys all came on, and we had a great conversation today. I had no idea we were going to be talking about Amazon. But I'm glad that you guys did. If you guys have questions, are you guys okay if people reach out to you?
Yeah. Yeah, message me either on a YouTube video, although I do struggle to keep up with that, I'll be perfectly honest. But Facebook, the links for my Facebook are on there, and DM me. I will get back to you. It gets difficult because I'm a full-time reseller, and coping with the social media is tough now. It's a good problem to have, but answering messages is almost a full-time job now. So please message me, but expect a delay.
I mean, you have like 50,000. I mean, you're like a legit YouTuber.
Almost, yeah. It's been amazing. And I'm almost an evangelist for YouTube. I think if you've got a passion, it doesn't have to be what you do for a living. If you do anything that you're passionate about, try YouTube, because it's been life-changing for us. I started another channel where I talk about the music I love. And I made a little video about the band Depeche Mode, and that's just past 135,000 views. Little me talking about music I love. It's so exciting. I love YouTube for that. It's given us genuine friends. We meet up with people all over the UK on the back of the channel. Just do it. Put yourself out there.
And I will agree to that. I will say, coming from someone who is not big on social media, it's a very big learning curve. And it was very like, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. And now a year and a half later, I'm only saying that about 30% of the time. But it is amazing because I'm like, I can't believe so many people are following me to hear me get all excited about talking numbers. Like, it's crazy. And yeah, it's YouTube. You can talk about, my daughter loves looking up, like, we watched a video on baby lizards yesterday. I mean, everything you want is on YouTube. I have one question. I know I said I wasn't going to talk numbers, but I just have one, and you can give me a ballpark, like, because you are like a legit YouTuber. Reselling versus YouTube, income wise, because as a new YouTuber, you don't make anything and it's hard to stick with it. But are you at the point where like you can get to a point where it is going to make you what you make reselling and kind of supplement?
We are a long way from making what we make selling all of this stuff you can see. I'm happy to share that we consistently make £1,000 a month from YouTube.
Yeah,
that's pounds. I don't know what that is in dollars.
I don't know. I don't know. But I just wanted like an idea, because I think it's important to, if you are starting YouTube, it's very time consuming, but it doesn't, I mean, you have to be kind of that top like 2% to be making a lot of money on it.
On that, can I quickly just say, I genuinely started YouTube because I wanted to share what I'm excited about and what I enjoy. I didn't even know you could make money. I didn't know you could partner with Google. And I think you need to go into it because you have a passion to make videos. If you go into it trying to make money, I think you're likely to fail, because it took us years to get to a point we could make money. It's only in the last year we've seen that sort of growth where it pays for its time, if I'm being perfectly honest.
And it pays for.
So what do you think got you to that place? Because I've been saying I wanted to start YouTube for a long time, but now you.
For me, the key was consistently. We've put consistent 3, 4, 5 videos out a week for 6 years. 1,200 odd videos. It's putting the work in, and it's also not doing it on your own. It's doing things like this. It's putting yourself out there on other people's channels and helping them and inviting them back on yours. And it's not, doing it on your own. I think that was a big decision we made early on, and it really helped. Make it a social thing.
And I would agree. Most YouTubers that I have talked to that make more than I do, because I'm asking like Amy, like, how do I make, like, is this worth my business? And I'm spending time on it and trying to navigate through that. I think, you finally get to a point where you're making money for your time, but it doesn't make money for the past 6 years time, right? Like you're putting a lot of time and effort, but like for you, Amy, you have other things that like a lot of resellers make money off of, like affiliate, or YouTubers in general, a digital product, affiliates, other parts of their business. So you could like push your course and stuff. But it is definitely, I'm doing a video. I filmed it. I'm a mom of 3. It'll probably come out in like a month. Hopefully this month, because it's about my goals next year. But I share how much I make on YouTube versus how much I make on reselling and why I decide to do it and all of that. But you don't get into it for the money. I mean, you guys see like these people who go viral. That's not. I mean, it's like getting into the NBA, right? Like most people.
It's like anything. There are exceptions, but know that they are exceptions. and 99% of people either never make money on YouTube or never make the money they hoped they would. That's just the reality of it.
But there are some resellers I've seen. I followed a couple, and if you use it as a business and you really learn the algorithm, you figure out if you do it like that, I think you can. I'm like,
I would still
want to teach people. I want to talk about
do it. Yeah, definitely do it. Try it, but do it because you love it.
Yes, yeah. Don't expect to get paid. Anytime soon. So Michelle, a couple more things. Numbers are important because since my having to close my former psych practice and being on disability, the number is so low. I'm a board certified coach that can't pay for one myself. Life can be strange. So much 2020 this year, right? Love the pink hairstyle. Thank you, Duncan. I did have, oh, here we go. If you guys do not follow Amber Resells, I love her reselling content. She is an actuary in real life. She's a YouTuber in real life too, but in her daytime job, she's an actuary. So it's very analytical. Surprise, surprise. I like it. But she did start a new channel. So if you guys like her, head on over to Amber Alpine. I watched one of her videos this weekend about COVID. I thought it was really interesting to kind of see some of the symptoms. This is Mel, the friends that I've made on YouTube are my favorite part, which is absolutely true. And that's a great comment because I met Mel through Chris from Daily Refinement, who then put me in contact with Nick. So that is how, and now we can have this conversation with other people and my husband not telling me that I ramble talking about my business all day.
Yeah, and that, I mean, I know I said it before, but that is key. You never know when, going on one of these chats might lead you to find somebody who you really click with, or something happens that benefits you. But so much that's benefited our business has come through YouTube. Mm-hmm. So it's paid us in that way. And now we use it. Well, it's become a selling platform for us as well. And we never saw that coming. So yeah.
You make sales on it too. So so from the AdSense, you don't make a lot, but it's driving traffic to your business.
Sales to viewers is bigger than the AdSense for sure.
Yeah. And that's what most YouTubers will say is the AdSense isn't big. It's going to be the other things that you can sell off of it. We are at an hour. So I want to thank you guys so much for your time coming on. This is a weekly, every single week, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard. Anyone is welcome to come on. So if you would like to join one of these chats, just send me a DM on Instagram and we will set up a time. I think the next couple of weeks are booked, but we will set up a time that works for you guys. And I love having you guys on. Such a great conversation. Took a completely different turn that I was going to talk about the holidays. What you guys are doing, that was like, because that's kind of what I'm in the mood of. We put up our tree, but this was way better reseller content. So thank you guys so much for coming on. If you like content like this, please subscribe to my channel. And speaking of not making money as a YouTuber, it is completely free to you to give me a like, save a video, share a video, and leave a comment, which helps my viewership and is greatly appreciated. So, and definitely follow everyone that was on the channel as well. Have a good night, guys.